All righty. This is the Gag on This podcast. You know the fucking intro. I'm not going to do it. There's just so much shit. Wow. All right, fine. We have a YouTube thing. Do something with it. Email us, gagonthispodcast@gmail.com. Website, gagonthispodcast.com. Episode description. We'll have the show and guest social media. Yeah. Fucking A. That's it. I just need to change it up. Joe, you do podcasts, right?
All the time.
Do you have an intro to yours?
Absolutely not, man. We play it. We just go right into it.
See, that's what sucks. Is because I've noticed that other than Rob being a fucking floating head randomly, I just sound so down when I do it.
Yeah, it's because you're not jerking or something. I don't know. Something's going on.
Welcome to the Gag on the. All right. I am Big Nick. I'm joined always by the Italian stallion that is Danni D. What? She's moving shit around. Joined by me, my Portuguese lover that is Rob.
Hello.
Dude, you're looking like Wilson.
It's a new camera. Leave it alone. I'll try and fix it later.
Okay.
Unless you want me fidgeting around with it the whole fucking time.
He doesn't need two people fidgeting.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have the Oliver Peck of New York, I must say. Joe goddamn Gorman.
What's up? What's up, dude?
I am jealous of your stash, sir.
Thanks, man. Thanks, dude.
How long did it take to grow that?
6 months. I started this back in March, right when the lockdown started.
Oh, I hate you so much. How long do you think this right here took me?
I'm going to say 3 years.
Close. Pretty much.
His whole life.
He's never seen a razor.
No, he hasn't.
No, I haven't.
Damn.
But I have seen you on Zach Amico's Spookshow, buddy.
Uh-oh. Here it comes. That's right, baby. Watch the Ice Cream Man.
Well, I mean, you didn't really watch it all that much, but yeah.
That's the cool thing about that podcast is usually if there's any lulls, you can just watch the movie and kind of riff off that. But luckily, it was such a good vibe that we just ended up chatting the entire time.
Yeah, and I'll say I've never heard of the Ice Cream Man, and the fact that fucking Ron Howard's brother is the lead, that shows a lot about the movie itself.
Oh, absolutely, man. It definitely has like that early 90s kind of flair to it, you know. I don't like all the kids had rat tails and cool punk rock overalls and stuff.
Rob, have you heard of the Ice Cream Man? You know a lot of random shit.
Only the Van Halen song, R.I.P. Eddie.
R.I.P.
Hey. Don't gloat your glory there too fast there.
I'm actually sad about that. But yeah, no, I'm not familiar with the movie The Ice Cream Man. Is it like it sounds like it would be a good horror movie or something.
It's supposed to be horror, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, we have CharRon joining.
Hi, what's up, guys?
Hey. CharRon, Joe CharRon.
What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man.
Are you doing this
on? Just got off work.
Are you doing this on a phone, sir?
Yes. I just got off work. I just got home. Really? So much love. I love you, Nick.
Yeah, let's get back to you on Zach Amico's Spook Show. We had him on the Gag on This podcast. He is very, very nice, which is weird because he doesn't look like that.
It's delightful.
Super sweetheart, dude. Yeah, he's great. He's always about helping out people in the scene, and you know, he gave. It was cool because, like, for me, that was like my first time on Gas Digital, and it was just kind of cool. He helped myself and all my other co-hosts on that show out, and got us some exposure. We got some listeners and stuff as a result of doing that podcast. It was very cool, man. Very cool.
Now, how did that come about? Exactly.
So one of the co-hosts of the Loud Boys pod, which I do, Robbie Goodwin, he's done a couple of Gas Digital appearances. So he had the connections with Gas Digital and Zach directly. And Zach also knows my other co-host, Dalton Pruitt. So it was just a matter of everyone knowing each other and kind of just coordinating it from there.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
So
how it is.
So I'm curious. I saw in your bio that you lived in San Francisco, or you're from?
I did. Yeah, I got my start in San Francisco. I moved out there from Leavenworth, Kansas, when I was 13 with my family. So I was in like 1999, and we moved to like this little town called Montera, which is not just 20 miles south of San Francisco, and that's pretty much where I grew up. I went to San Francisco State University for college, and then I just stayed in the Bay Area up until 2018 when I finally moved out to the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
So what prompted you to move to the East Coast?
My job transferred me. They had an opening in their Manhattan office, and they offered to, move me out. And, if I could find a place, they would help, cover some expenses and stuff. So, why not? I was planning on moving out to New York anyway. I think like a lot of people, their ultimate goal in starting comedy in most cities is to, eventually move to either New York or LA, depending on their needs. In my case, I wanted to move to New York, just in terms of where I could do comedy and how I could develop as a comedian, as opposed to if I moved to LA, I would also want to go there to develop as an actor, and I'd have to like have scripts and more connect. I feel like in LA you need more connections, whereas in New York, if you go to enough open mics or you just hang out long enough and you're talented, eventually somebody will see that, whereas in LA it's like you have to know somebody. It's harder to get momentum in LA, I feel. So more props to people that go out there.
So you did comedy in the Bay Area?
Yeah, I got my start in San Francisco. I got passed at the clubs out there. I worked at the Punchline and Cobb's for a couple of years, and I was a host there for a while. I ran a couple of showcases and open mics, and yeah, I was doing comedy in San Francisco for about 12 years before I finally moved.
Wow.
Damn. How old are you?
I'm 35.
Damn. Got in young.
Started young, but I mean, like comedy, like mainly like when you start comedy as a younger person, it's really just kind of understanding and getting a comfort for being on stage and talking to people, because like it's really hard to have like it's like there are certain people that are young and are very successful, but they're also like immensely talented. But I think like the first X amount of years of comedy is just like finding your voice. I don't think it's even until like you're in like your late 20s or early 30s that you really start getting any kind of momentum just from consistently doing it and actually seeing results,
Right.
So
What if you started at 45?
Well, if you started at 45, like there's the benefit there that you have all of this life experience to draw upon, because like when you're 20, like what are you, like a lot of like the 20-year-old comics, like their whole bits are just about like getting fucked up and like, school and stuff. But like in your 40s, at least you have like, all you have to do is like, okay, once I figure out how to talk to people, like I already have all this life experience. So then it's just chipping away at that and making those bits. Whereas, it's basically meeting in the middle. Like either you're young and you have energy and then you figure out the act, the craft in your voice, but then you don't have any experience to draw on, or you have the experience and then you just need to figure out your voice and your stand-in and all of that. So, I mean, everyone has like, there's benefits to either one.
How's the situation with New York's comedy differ from Bay Area's comedy?
It's larger. That's the biggest thing. Like Manhattan itself, where I'm located. I mostly do comedy in Manhattan.
Nice.
That's like the size of San Francisco, so that was like a big thing for me, like realizing that like shit, there's 5 boroughs in New York, and like each one is giant. Each one has its own scene, and each borough, there's cliques in every borough. There's some comics that Look, I was doing like when comedy was open in New York, I was doing like, like 3 to 4 sets a night at multiple venues. And like, there were some people like I would only see them like twice a year, but they're doing a crap ton of stuff. They're going out every night. I'm going out every night. It's just that we're hitting up different venues because there's so much to do in the city, or at least there was so much to do that, it's rare that you cross paths sometimes. But overall, it's good. I think it's also, I feel like I did more developing out in New York just because the level of people you're performing with and working with, like there's like career comics in New York City that are able to make a legitimate living just doing comedy or some stuff comedy adjacent, whether it's, they're producers on a podcast or they themselves are doing a podcast or radio or what have you. You're more likely to find people involved in that profession in New York, whereas in San Francisco, or at least the area I was in, people were doing comedy and they were working towards comedy, but they still had to have day jobs. They still had to have things to set them up to allow them to do comedy. And I think that's
you're saying there are people that make money on podcasts.
Sometimes, man. Once you get that Blue Apron sponsor, the money starts rolling in.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Gotta work on that, Nick.
Yeah, I'll fucking hop right on that shit. One thing I am curious about, CharRon talked about the differences as far as comedy scenes. How is it different in the sense of what you can say? Because I'm a huge fan of a lot of New York comics. I listen to a lot of podcasts out of New York, and they always talk about how you can be more crass and push the envelope a little bit more than you can on the West Coast.
I mean, it varies. Yeah, there's definitely, but I mean, like there's, one thing that a lot of Brooklyn comedy gets criticized for is like there's a lot of like that PC, like the PC police are out there. So, there's like, I mean, there's definitely like old school comics that are still out here that are all about pushing the envelope. And, there's Compound Media, which is, Anthony Cumia's broadcasting company that's all about pushing the envelope and keeping comedy on the edge. And yeah, I definitely feel that. But I mean, I think at the end of the day is if a joke is genuinely funny and people enjoy it, they're going to be a lot more lax and forgiving than something that is just outwardly crass and said with more of an antagonistic, tint to it. I think it's more about like learning how to tell the jokes more so than worrying about like, what if this upsets somebody? It's like, well, if it's funny, they're not going to be that upset.
Right.
Kind of imagine doing an open mic in Brooklyn being like doing an open mic in Berkeley.
I mean, it's different. I mean, yeah, Brooklyn is a lot. I've always had fun in Brooklyn. One of my best sets, one of my first shows and then best sets was actually in Brooklyn at this place called The Platform, which is now a defunct. But it happens, man. Brooklyn audiences are pretty cool. That was my first time. I was like, I made it. I made a Brooklyn audience laugh. I'm in. It's going to be okay.
One thing that happens here a lot in, like even in Sacramento, is a lot of comic clubs close and open. They don't last long. Are there a lot of them that last long in New York, or? I mean,
there's definitely like some older ones. Like there's some of the clubs out here are definitely more institutions. There's like the Comedy Cellar. There's Caroline's. Oh, yeah. There's definitely a lot of venues still out here. I mean, right now they're on hiatus. They can't really do gatherings right now. But I mean, at the same time, there's venues that open and close constantly. But there's certain staples that will always be around. Caroline's is one of them, and pretty much like LOL. There's Comedy Off Broadway, places like that. There's always going to be funding for those because like they were just making so much money and they had such a low overhead when they first came out. So I'm sure they'll be fine. I mean, I don't know. I'm knock on.
Are things starting to open up back there? Because you sent me a clip a few days ago. Was that from the other night? Like,
yeah. Where I did. So we started doing some comedy indoors. It's mainly just other comics in the audience. So really, we're just kind of performing for ourselves and a new tape. And I was telling my friend who was doing the show tonight, I said, be sure to film your set, man, because if they close down again, it's probably going to be a while. And there's so few comics right now that are going to have a good tape for 2020 at this point, because like, it's just like, it's so rare unless you're like, posting your Zoom sets and so I have one set that I recorded in March, like right before the quarantine really kicked in. And it's me just kind of mocking coronavirus because it's like, this is fine. It's all going to blow over. And like that aged like milk. So that's cool. And now I have like this new one that's like 6 months later. And it's like the first indoor show I've done in forever. And it's just a fundamentally different human being than I was 6 months ago. So that's fun. But it's, yeah.
So are you going to shave the stash once things open up? Never?
The stash stays now. I updated my driver's license, and now my driver's license has the mustache. So this is how I'm going to look for the rest of my life, I think.
Wow.
I see the attachment to Brooklyn now.
Just like Super Mario.
Oh, damn. Luigi.
So I want to ask this. I was randomly, it just came up. I was randomly searching for this company, and it randomly popped up with an address in New York, and they have something called a Little Brazil.
Ooh.
Like, how many little things? Like, I know there's obviously Little China because there was big trouble there.
Right.
There's Little Italy. There's Little like, how many littles do you know of?
Look, there's Little Italy. There's Little Brazil. There's Little China, where you can get like a little Wuhan bat. They have all kinds, dude. They have all kinds of stuff. They even have Little America inside New York. Can you imagine that? It's like a Mobius strip or something. It's like those doors, and you open and there's another door, and it's like, what the hell is this, man? I love it. We have Little Paris.
Holy shit.
That's nice. Like just some fucking big hairy Italian guy playing the accordion and smoking a cigarette for you while you drink wine out of a bottle. We have it's great because like there's absolutely no need to leave New York City ever, because like if you want to go to a different country, we got a little ass version of it right here. Hop on the A train, baby. You don't need a fucking passport. Why do you need to leave this city, man? It's great. I love it.
I think going to New York scares me just because I don't like people, and it's just people on top of people.
Yeah. Well, not now. They're all dead. Don't worry, dude. Like, now's the time to come to New York. It's just like a wasteland. Just step over all the corpses we leave on the streets. Like, there's a lot of them. You know that scene in Monty Python and the Holy Grail where they're like, bring out your dead? That's all we do now. It's exciting. It's such an exciting time in the city right now.
Is everyone's dying?
Everyone's dead. Yeah, dude. COVID-19, baby. And no one's. They're actually going to. They were opening stuff up, but now in Brooklyn and Queens, people were having so many parties and celebrations. There were all these COVID-19 flare-ups, and now they're probably going to get shut down again. So R.I.P. Queens. More like 3 now. So it's great. We got Manhattan, the Bronx, and Staten Island. Cool. the creme de la creme. I mean, Manhattan's the one that matters. That's the one, like, when everyone thinks of New York, they think of, all the shit in Manhattan. And, like, the Brooklyn Bridge, which goes from Brooklyn to Manhattan. So, come on.
I heard that bridge is like $11 to cross the toll.
It's ridiculous. You can just walk across it, though.
You can, yeah. I've done it.
That's what I would suggest doing that, or take the bus or something. I don't know. Well, I've never taken outside of taking a lift to my office, which I have to do because my company makes me. I've never taken a lift in New York City aside from that. I've never not needed. I've never had a problem taking the train. It's never been so late that the train wouldn't run. It's very great. It's the best public transit I've ever experienced in any major metropolitan area.
Better than BART?
way better. Makes Bart
Bart's a toilet on wheels.
Yeah. Yeah, we have Metro North, we got the New Jersey Transit, we got the Long Island Railroad, we got the MTA. There's nowhere I can't go. I've never needed to rent a car. I've never needed to get an Uber. Everything has been super accessible. I've never held a cab. It's the easiest public transit I've ever had to use.
I am surprised that comedians haven't started doing comedy on the train. I mean, you already got breakdancing and preachers and stuff. You might as well have a comedian start.
The one time I was Blue Lives Matter. It was one of the few times. It was a few weeks ago, and I was riding the subway. I had my mask on. And I was like, all right, well, this isn't too bad. But then like the Showtime dancers came on, and he said, "Attention, everybody! I hope we're all keeping safe. We're just gonna do a little celebration." And then he turned on the boombox, like the fucking '90s boombox. Like they never. It's like crazy. It's like we have Bluetooth now. We don't need it. Turns on the fucking boombox and starts dancing. And then a police officer who was also on the subway said, "Sir, you want to keep it down a little bit?" And the guy said, "Oh, sorry." And he turned off his boombox and got off at the next stop. And I was like, "Well, finally, dude. You see, you didn't have to fucking, chill, like." If like there was more instances of like cops just being like chill and calm like that, we'd be fine. But like it's like normally like fuck, dude, just calm down. But like it's like escalated the whole thing easily, dude. That's all you need to do. And like nobody likes the Showtime dancers. My God, dude. Everyone's like, it's like impressive, yeah, them spinning around and doing that. But like, dude, we have places to go. We're on a fucking train. We're all like nobody's ever like excited when like somebody makes an announcement like attention, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. No one does that. Everyone's like, God damn it. One time they started dancing. I was like, fuck this. I'm going into the other train. And so I went to the next car. They danced through the first car into the car I was in. And it was like, get the fuck away from me. Like, I'm not going to. And then like they have the audacity to ask you for money. It's like, no, dude. And like, get away, like 6 feet apart, man. Like, come on, I'm trying to go to my drug dealer. I'm not here to support the arts. Like, what is this shit? Like, that's why I love Zoom. It's like if somebody's like putting something like a comedy show on Zoom and they're streaming it, I can just scroll past it if I want to. But if I'm interested, I'll unmute. It's great. Like that's how it should. That's how art should be. It should be available and accessible, but not forced upon.
Touche.
Yeah, we're gonna do some in-your-face comedy now. Hey everyone, I know you're living in constant fear of this man-made disease that's used to control us, but hey, I want to talk about some things I saw on the internet. Here's a funny meme I saw. I can't wait till people like start doing comedy on stage again, and they're gonna say things like, "Oh, that worked better on Zoom." Or like,
yeah,
I wish I could unmute this audience. Like, there's gonna say all of that. I'm calling it. Like, that's it. And of course, like, there's gonna be like the first asshole who gets like the late night television spot doing stand up comedy. They're gonna get like all the credit for saying all of the Zoom jokes that are hack at this point. Like, I'm doing comedy wearing pants again. It's like, all right, dude, I perfected that joke formula in April, homie. All right. Like, well, what is this shit? It's going to be like some already established comic that, like didn't take a hit at all during like this whole lockdown. Like it'll be like Zach Galifianakis being like, "Oh, wow, I haven't done comedy in 5 years, but, this is weird being back." It's like, yeah, dude. Yeah. Like the comics that will do like Zoom comedy from their house, but they have like giant fucking mansion, and they're like, "We're just trying to make it here," and they got like a grand piano behind them. Get the fuck out of here, man! I'm a working class comic. I say we kill them and take their grand piano. How about that? Redistribute the wealth immediately. Yeah, man.
This will be a good way for Louis C.K. to come back. No one remembers.
He's back, baby. All's forgiven.
He's already back. He's already back.
I know that, but I mean, there's still people that give him shit.
What did he do? What did he really do? Fall in love?
Over the phone?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like you got to get written consent, and you got to get like people to sign a contract before you show anyone your penis. Like that's 101, man.
Danny, I'll send you over the release we have for Gag On This.
I already have it.
Just change some words around and you'll be good. God damn it. There is a youth in. Damn it. Now I got to mark that shit on YouTube.
Fuck your kid, Rob. I hope he heard that too.
No, he didn't. Speaking of Zoom shows, you host a Zoom show, correct?
I host a Zoom show on Wednesday and Friday nights.
And I wonder how many people perform on your show that realize that that's Joe Cool. Because he's been gone.
A lot of us. A lot of the older comics say. I think it's like anyone that was born before 1990 would. Yeah, and the smoke.
One would hope.
Remember Camel Bucks when you could just like get money from smoking cigarettes?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
yeah,
Marlboro still does it.
They still have it with Marlboro. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Camel does not. It fucking pisses me off.
That's crazy. Marlboro still has that, and there's like some like 80, some like 95-year-old man that's like immune to cancer that just like smokes like a pack and a half a day, and he's saving up to buy like a summer house that he's gonna will
pool table.
Yeah. A raft. Remember, like they would have all kinds, like the mountain bike, all kinds of weird shit. Like,
I used to date a guy that had a duffel bag, a Marlboro duffel bag, and he's like, you know how many fucking points it took? And I was like, what?
David Thorne buy a duffel bag for like a fraction.
Right. David Thorne has it now, so you guys will have to ask him one day when you see him. Joe knows. I think he's met David on Zoom, but yeah.
I'm sure I have.
Yeah, he has it now because I stole it.
The duffel bag.
So yeah.
Marlboro actually used to send out Zippos too. That was fucking great. Cool, I have 5 Zippos from Marlboro.
Oh my god,
Zippos are solid.
I love Zippos, man. Especially if you can do the thing on your fucking pants. That gets the bitches wet.
Sure.
I thought it was when you snap right on it and then it starts lights up. And then
yeah, I guess. Whatever.
Neither of those tricks work.
So talk about your Zoom mic a little bit more. Like you said, it's on Wednesdays and another day.
Yeah.
Friday.
TGIF, baby.
Now I've
man, it's just like it's cool. Yeah.
Huh? Oh, I was gonna say I've scrolled by and you just have it to where like do people have to register or they can just click the link?
I mean, so what I do, I put a sign up link on, and that's just for people to sign up and reserve a spot. But then I also post the link once we go live. So if anyone else wants to join in and hop on and get the set, anyone can come on, man. Well, like what the fuck else am I going to do with my night? I'm not going anywhere. They're like, you hosted a Zoom mic for 3 hours? It's like, I was just like sitting down on my computer, it wasn't like I had to fucking like run back up on stage and shit. It's not nearly as exhausting as like running an actual show. I'm just sitting at my computer, right clicking to highlight people and then unclicking. It's not like physically exhausting where I was like, oh my God, I need a night. It's like, come on, it's the easiest shit ever. It's just easy. It's fun. It's fun. It's good. It's good to network. You meet people. It's easy to workshop ideas, at least just to keep sharp. It's not the same as like performing in front of a live audience, but it's the equivalent of like, practicing a guitar in your room. So that way, when you are in front of a live audience, you at least like have an idea of, how it's supposed to sound.
That's a good fucking reference, Joe. That's good. Yeah. You boys hear that? You so-called comedians hear that?
Hey, I dropped the comedian from my Facebook. I am no longer.
It's gonna cause me to drink.
So Joe, how it started is me and Rob met and we did a stand-up class and we did stand-up and I was doing that pretty regularly, but the stand-up would last until 10:30, and then I would have to wake up at 3:30 to go into work. And Danni D's like, hey, come out to fucking touch a class. We're doing something at 10. It starts at 9 p.m. And I'm like, I've been in bed for 2 hours. No fucking way.
Yeah, man. When I was in San Francisco, I used to work at a coffee shop. And like, that's like a job where I had to be at the shop at like 4:30 in the morning to open. And it's like, fuck, dude, I hate this shit. So what I would do is like, I would go to my job. I'd be done with my job at like noon. I go back home and I'd sleep. I'd sleep from like 1 o'clock to like 5 or 6. I get up at 6. I go out and I do stand-up comedy from like, like to like 10 to, theoretically 6 to 10 or 11. I get back home around midnight and I'd sleep until 3 a.m., get back up at 3, and then I'd go to work and I'd do that cycle. I was doing
dedication, Nick. Dedication.
No sleep.
But it sucked. It sucked ass. And if I had to choose, I would have quit my fucking job. That job fucking sucks ass, and comedy's way better. Work sucks, man. Work is so fucking stupid.
But that's your material.
It can be, but like another job, like there's like easier jobs to have that are less physically taxing.
Yeah,
true.
Like making an OnlyFans or.
Yeah, if I was a woman, I'd have an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right, Joe. Let's fucking break this down.
Here we go.
Danni D started an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
She has yet to be naked on it.
Well, that's what women are doing right now.
Thank you.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. She's yet to be naked.
That's
You're
like
not
that.
a
That's like that
subscriber. You
Bella
don't know.
Thorne girl. That's like that Bella Thorne was like, I'm going to open an OnlyFans.
Who do I love?
Her daughter did set it up for her, though.
Hey, there's some risque pictures on there.
Family business. Family business.
No, but like everyone has an OnlyFans. There's some men like to be financial cuckolds where they just they want like a woman just to like take their money and shit.
I know.
They call it financial dominatrix.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough being that.
Oh, I bet. Getting paid to fucking fly places? Yeah.
Well, no, they basically
but guys can do cool stuff to do, dude.
Not with my body. I mean, I know there's men out there that can pull it off, but I mean, I got tits bigger than most bitches out here, man.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, but you can like just be like, give me money, I'll kick your ass. Like that's what a man can do. So like that's
big
not that one. Nick is such a simp. He wouldn't do that. He would never.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, no. I would not beat up a woman. I mean, unless she deserved it. Like,
no, not a woman. You could just beat up a man, dude.
Yeah.
Or you can just like give me your money.
Oh yeah, no, I can't do that. I thought we were talking about beating up women, and I was like, all right, I have a fighting chance. But men, no.
No, I'm just talking about robbing people, dude. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the victimless crime of robbing another human being.
2 years in New York made you hard.
So is your entire family still in San Francisco? Or
my whole family.
You left?
Well, my dad lives in Tennessee, but my mom and stepdad and sister live in California.
So you went to New York all by yourself?
Yeah, I'm all alone.
That's scary. The way it was meant to be.
Yeah, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
That is true.
You know, a pigeon lady?
It's real.
Yeah.
That's why I don't talk to homeless people. I'm like, I don't need you to fucking save me from 2 robbers, man. I'm an open carry comic.
I don't even know what that means.
That movie would have been like a lot different if like instead Kevin McAllister is like, I gotta protect my house, and he just goes to his dad's gun rack. Traps in his house. Just like fucking shoots Marv and Harry as soon as they come into the house.
Well, technically, he did carry a BB gun, so I mean, he does not shoot.
I'm talking. Yeah, man, that's so like that would that it is it's impossible to make that kind of movie today, you know. Otherwise, it would be like about like it would end with CPS taking away Kevin from his young millennial parents who are too busy updating their Twitter feed to find out where their kid is. Who knows, man? I'm microchipping my kid for that very reason.
Wow.
Yeah.
Full on microchip, huh?
I mean, why not? We microchip our dogs.
That is true. We do.
Yeah, but the chip doesn't. I've already looked into it, Joe. The chip doesn't tell you where they are. The chip just tells you if someone brings them in and they scan them.
Oh,
that is true.
Great.
That is
so
true.
like my kid's probably dead.
Yeah.
I paid like so it's like
they
like,
can
don't worry,
scan his headless corpse and say, "Oh,
yeah." So
I thought it gave you like tracking all the time and a little.
I thought it did too. It doesn't.
Their approximate location.
It absolutely doesn't. Because my friend works at a vet. Yeah, and I was like, "Can we just chip the kids? Like that'd be great." But no, it just shows them like if they get turned in. But no one's going to turn in a kid if they steal them.
Well, what if you put a SIM card
Absolutely
in them?
not. Why would you do that? You bury a kid. Or you feed it to pigs or something. You're not going to return it.
A SIM card into kids.
Yeah, because isn't a SIM card what like does the GPS and all that shit?
I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, just fucking SIM them.
Well,
it's more of a tracking app. Yeah.
Considering you're probably never going to have kids, Nick, I don't know. I'll try to do mine. I'll let you know.
I mean, you never know.
Give me your arm. Give me your fucking hand.
Joe's talking about me robbing people, so I mean, I guess I could take a kid. That should be easy.
Why not, dude?
That's the last thing you want.
Give me your kid and no one gets hurt.
Nobody wants to steal a fucking kid. Oh, there's so much work. Right, Rob?
Yes.
Yeah, unless you're going to murder him. Like, there's no...
Wow.
I'll do what that who's that bitch that got taken when she was like 9 and then she had like 3 kids with the guy and she recently got found.
Smart.
Like JC Dugard?
There you go. JC Dugard. That's what I'll do. I'll just put her in a barn in the back and have my kids and call it a day.
I can't believe they never found her. Like that bitch was in the backyard.
They didn't want
Not surprising.
Yeah. Nobody was looking for her.
She didn't want to be found.
She was happy being chained up in a kiddie pool with her 2 kids.
Oh my God.
Some women like to have babies.
No, they don't. Not naturally. Well, maybe. I don't know.
I saw a video of had an orgasm having a baby.
Oh, wow.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she had an orgasm having a baby. And she had it in a little kiddie pool.
Oh, yeah. Well,
is this a video that's available?
Did the Hitachi one get in the way of the birth?
Nick's got to get back to jerking. Nick's like, hold on. Where's the link?
Yeah, man.
God. What is wrong with you, Nicholas?
Well, that's a twofer because then you get the pregnancy fetish, and then once the baby's out, she's back to normal. So then you got
I found it.
You found it?
Jeez, you had it bookmarked.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
I thought to find.
I thought it would be a Pornhub thing. YouTube doesn't
X
show
video thing. You're not gonna see a cool ass thing like that. How crazy would that be? If that was like an entire like subsection of X Hamster, which is like baby being born. Did you see that? There was a little baby right
Oh my God!
They'd be right under British.
I so want to Google, like, just go on X Hamster or whatever, and just put that in because I'm sure it exists. Fucking everything exists.
Absolutely. Let's take a look.
Although
I know Pregos exist, but
I was going to say I don't think it would because I think it'd be child porn, right?
But seeing the birth.
Oh, that's true. TLC, when they were good, used to show births all the time.
So to seeing the birth would be child porn?
Really?
Okay.
They still like blur out like the vagina and butthole.
Giving birth porn.
No way.
Yeah.
It's a thing?
It's on Pornhub.
Wow.
Hold on. Oh, God.
Why are you watching?
I'm not watching it. I just clicked on it for you guys.
So is she like blowing a guy while giving birth, or is it just...
I've given birth twice, and I've never seen a woman give birth. They were like, do you want a mirror? And I was like, no. Why the fuck would you want a mirror? I don't want a mirror. No. So I've never been, no. But I just saw a little more than I needed to.
So hold on. You just did all the push. You didn't want to see the work.
I had an epidural. I was barely.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
I pushed, and then that was it.
I would like to see my asshole tear.
Yeah, and I didn't take Lamaze with Emma. So when I had her, and then they were like, hold on, you have to keep pushing. And I was like, wait, there's only one in there. Like, I was just so uninformed. I didn't know about the placenta. I didn't know anything. I was just, yeah. And it wasn't even like I went to the doctor. I just didn't listen. You guys know how I am.
Did you poop when you were giving birth?
I don't know. If I did, they didn't tell me.
Okay.
If they did, I know that
That's
when I
a
had
thing, apparently.
It totally is, I think. But when I had my son, I was like, hey, just sew me up like I was like 16.
It's still pretty big.
My ex didn't think that was funny at all. Fuck you, Rob.
Wait. So you got a C-section with Noah?
No, I had both of them naturally. But,
okay.
Well, naturally on drugs. But when am I not on drugs?
All right, let's get back to Joe. He is the guest here. Let's stop talking about afterbirth. And
it was your idea. I'm going to send you the link for this.
No, I can do it on my own. Thank you.
And he will. You know he will.
Yeah, I'll do it in the confines of my bathroom. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You might have a warming seat in your toilet then. Goddamn.
Yeah, how are you guys jerking off with all your wives and mates being home?
Yeah.
Because they probably get all mad.
I like how Joe just chimes in. Yeah.
You guys
alone.
I mean, we've talked about it. Bathroom.
No.
Act like you're pooping. Let out a couple farts. So you get the illusion.
Illusion.
Yeah. Anyways, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe. Loud Boys. I imagine that's a ripoff of Proud Boys.
No, not at all.
Oh, really?
No, it is. No.
Fuck, I was like, wow, I read too much into that. That shows my political leaning.
Damn, dude. Well, hey, man. It's it's kind of funny because, we're called the Loud Boys, and then like we recently made an appearance on Compound Media, which is, Anthony Cumia's station, and it's known for its decidedly alt-right stance on things. But luckily, like I haven't gotten in trouble yet for these harmless jokes. So we'll see how that all works out, man. Loud Boys is a podcast I do with my buddies Dalton Pruitt and Robbie Goodwin. They're New York comics. Robbie also started in the Bay Area years ago, but he moved out to New York a few years before me. So it was cool to link up with him and this podcast. And we've had over 30 episodes so far, and it's been a real adventure. We started right before the quarantine too. We started in like February. And then, we were like, well, this is going to be a great year. And then like everything got locked down. But, we were still able to do our podcast. So that's been cool, getting that. And the small success we've had from it so far has been very encouraging.
That wasn't the one I was on, was it?
No, that's a stupid one I do on Sundays. It doesn't
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries. That's a throwaway one.
Fucking A.
Oh, man.
Oh, oops. I mean, but it's also like a good one.
It's all good.
It's a throwaway because he didn't even say the name of it.
It doesn't have a real name.
Bullshit.
It's just like this thing I do with my old roommate from New Jersey. And I don't know. I kind of want to stop doing it too.
Yeah, well, you sold it pretty well.
I would hope so.
You fucking dick.
Yeah, dude, shit's stupid right now. It's so funny that there's like, I don't know, there's some comics that are just trying to like, it's like the comics that they do the Zoom comedy, but they have like a regular like microphone that they hold, and they stand up sometimes to try to like, and it's like, dude, like that world of doing comedy is gone for a while, man. And you gotta embrace the new medium and stop trying to like, you gotta like let go of the past. You always gotta be moving forward, man. And so it's weird. And I hope that's like what everyone learned during this whole lockdown, is that you should never get too comfortable, because things can change pretty quick. So you have to be constantly able to adapt and change to the situation as the situation dictates.
I like that. That's deep.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. There's a real zen to stand-up comedy if if you want it to be. But there's also like, I don't know, man. There's also like some comics that are like way too spiritual where they're like, man, when you're just in sync with the audience and it's all zen. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. I saw your act and you go up there and you're like, you ever like fart so hard a little bit of pee comes out? And I was like, oh, that's the zen you were talking about? Like that you were fucking preaching from on the mountaintop? Get the fuck out of here, dude. The art of comedy. Get out of here, man.
Who did that? They stole my joke.
Yeah. My bit. I mailed that bit to myself. I copyright that bit.
All right. Does anybody have any more questions before we go on to our cool thing?
Lightning round.
No? Nobody?
Cool thing. You need any tips on how to punch up your act? Let me know.
Nice.
You could do it on his Sunday podcast. Who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, ouch.
Hey, you guys are always invited to do my Sunday podcast anytime.
Just give us the footage back.
Oh, damn. Rob's got a cat back there,
Yeah,
too?
can Rob pay attention? Like, Jesus.
I had to play with my pussy. Leave me alone.
I'm going to pet my cat. I'm going to play with my son. It's an hour. It's an hour on once a week. You can't fucking focus.
I haven't seen my fuck trophy all day. He came in,
Wow.
he got a haircut, and he just
I'm
wanted to
confused
say
on
hi.
that one.
Right?
Fuck trophy. It's what you get when you
I
don't pull out right.
I know what you mean, but it was just hurtful when you said it. It's like,
Not at all.
trophy. I got 2 fuck trophies.
Daddy's busy. You can see him afterwards.
All right. So if nobody has any other questions, we will move on to Inside the Comic Studio.
Brilliant.
Is there like a soundbite for this?
Yo, there will be. Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. We're professional here. This ain't no Sunday podcast.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Before we get into it, we have somebody in the background. Is that Joey C?
No, it's Sammy.
I was going to say Joey C's gained some weight.
Yeah. No.
All right. Before we get into it, Joe, plug your social media, plug anything you got coming up. Just plug the fuck away.
Okay. My social media, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Joe W. Gorman. Those are the main ones. And then I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/Joe Gorman. And that was awesome, man. I got that name like bright and early. I wish I was a little more fast on the draw with everything else. I could have been Joe Gorman on that. Some asshole is on Twitter as Joe Gorman, and it's some fucking priest who builds houses in South Africa. Like, what a fucking loser, dude. I want to talk about my shit on Twitter, and I have to use my full fucking legal name because of this shitbag who hasn't even updated since like 2018. So I hope he's dead.
You should change yours to Joe Gorman, not the pedophile.
Yeah. Not Joe Gorman, not the rapist.
Yeah.
Like,
priest, pedophile.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Gorman, perhaps you would like to change your Twitter handle? Doesn't matter. We're in a game of cat and mouse now, Reverend Gorman. In terms of upcoming shows, I'm doing. Let's see. I'm doing a Tara Christian Wiedner's Halloween show on Halloween.
Spooky.
Very scary.
Tara, not Tara?
Tara.
All right.
I'm the teller.
Whatever, man. I said it right the first time. And then he got in my head.
I'm going to tell her.
Yeah. Oh, you're telling on me. What are you, 5, dude? I'm not afraid. What are they going to tell on me? What are they going to do? Put me in timeout? Whatever, man.
How dare you put me on your Sunday shitty podcast?
Do you want to do my real podcast?
Yes.
All right. It's on Saturday night.
That's fine. I don't do shit on Saturdays.
Okay. I'm going to start
What's
a
the
podcast.
podcast called?
It's called Joe Gorman's Coup d'etat.
Shut up.
I just thought of that one, and I'm very excited about it, and I'm actually going to get it started.
Okay.
So
And Danny, you'll be the first guest.
you will be the first guest, Danny D.
All right.
So think about that.
I'm going to hold you to it.
All right. It's happening, dude.
All right. Anything else you want to plug?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Danny.
You can find me at radchick4ever on everything: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Venmo, Cash App. Yeah, that's it.
And OnlyFans is just forever.
Yeah, it's like Outcast forever, like EVA.
OnlyFans forever? Wow.
No, it's radchick forever. Yeah.
And if you're feeling frisky, that'll be in the show notes, guys. Whatever. All right, Rob.
Get my side project, Stand Up Dad's podcast. I do that with my buddy Mike. We have new episodes come out every Sunday. Check it out.
All right, and we haven't been able to do this for a while. CharRon.
Yes, I am back. You can find me on everything on a Serious Production. That's a seriousproduction.com. I do a comedy show over at Rockland called Comedy on the Rocks. That's over at the Pink Martini. Try to get on. We have one on the 14th and the 28th. So next show, the one we got sold out, we had Ngayo Balaam. Could be played in it. So yeah, boom.
Nice. And as always, it's popping on Twitter at the Big Nick J. Haven't gotten in any fights this week, but
Good
there's
job.
a day left, so who knows?
There's still
Nick,
2 days left.
So Nick, what do you think about the whole Pence having a fly on his face?
Hold on, we got to do the thing first.
And I didn't watch any of the debate.
Oh,
God, what is wrong with you?
Did you watch the debate?
I've watched all of them. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Joe, did you watch the debate?
I'm still undecided, dude.
Really?
I hope you're fucking kidding.
I'm on the fence right now. I don't know.
This person.
There's so many sides. It's so complex, man. I don't know.
Well, apparently there's a third party runner. It's like Joe Jorgensen or something.
Yeah, I'm voting for him.
Yeah,
Is it green or
somebody.
something?
Huh?
Is it Green Party
Libertarian,
or something?
baby.
Oh, Libertarian? Okay.
Yeah, somebody voted for him and posted it on Twitter, and fucking people were like, "Way to throw your vote away." That's
Yeah, dude.
And they were like, "That's a vote for Trump. Good going."
Everything's a vote for Trump, man.
Yeah, he's going to win.
Yeah, Trump's going to win. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
dude. I'm sorry
He
to be
is.
the one to tell you this.
I don't want him to win, but he's going to.
He's
He
too
better
handsome not to. I hate
Oh, yeah.
Fucking
Super
God.
sexy.
I hate that handsome man.
I hope he
Wow.
loses and then dies of COVID like the day after so he can't fight.
He won't. He doesn't
my
even have
God.
COVID. He doesn't
What?
even
He
have
doesn't
COVID.
He doesn't have it. Never happened.
No.
And
It
if
never
it did,
happened.
that's good for me because I eat just as much McDonald's as that guy. So if he beats COVID-19, I'm definitely beating COVID-19. I don't give a fuck. I'm not wearing a mask anymore. There's
I
no
hope he
need.
dies because he's on my death pool team.
Fuck
Whoa.
you.
He
Fuck
is
you.
on your Deadpool.
That's an American man, though.
You're already going to win.
Yeah, so Joe, we have a death pool, and the only person to get points is Rob. We have a total of 100 people, and not one of them has died except for Rob's. He has.
We have,
People have
Yeah.
died this year.
I cannot believe Eddie Van Halen died. Man,
I can. He
I
had fucking
thought he was
cancer
on
for
my
10
list.
years.
I thought he was on my list.
No.
I was so happy with myself until I saw that.
Oh, you hurt me.
Same thing with Vin Diesel. When I heard Vin Diesel died, you guys, and I
Yeah,
sent
you
y'all that
were
link.
jumping up. Yeah, you
My
were.
son was like, "You're a horrible person." You're a
No, instead
horrible
he
person."
created a special.
Yeah, fuck
Yep,
you.
that's true.
Whatever.
His song
Okay.
is banging.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel's a singer now?
I
Yeah,
like that.
You didn't see it? You didn't see his video?
Yeah.
No, I don't like Vin Diesel. That's why he's on my Deadpool list.
I like that Vin Diesel also has a feud with The Rock.
Well,
true, he
you know, when you're not as attractive, you're going to be mad at him.
Wow.
All righty.
Not wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He looks like a monkey. Well, he's retired.
Whoa, that's racist.
It's not.
Wow.
It's,
That is true. That's
That's a racist.
it's not
That's
racist. It's
Yeah,
not.
it
It's
is.
less evolved. Let's just say it that way.
His
That's
face
even
looks
more
like a
racist.
monkey. His face looks like a monkey.
Good Lord.
His face.
Jesus Christ, man.
I mean, a rockin' body, but if you could just put a bag over that face.
Oh, damn. You got a butter? You telling me he has a butter face?
Oh, yeah. He's got a butter face.
All right. Joe, have you listened to the podcast before?
Absolutely, everyone.
All right. Way to lie. Appreciate that.
See those eyes going up.
So we do this very famous thing called Inside the Comic Studio where we ask all comedians the same 5 questions.
Ooh.
Yes. So first question is first joke that landed well.
Oh, it's funny enough. It was this joke. I was a few years into comedy, and this was like the first time I said a joke that was like just 100% uniquely my own. And ironically enough, it was at a time I went to New York City and was trying to do comedy there. And I was telling people like, oh, can I get a spot on the show tonight? I'm visiting from San Francisco. And everyone said like, oh, you're from San Francisco. Are you gay? And it's like, dude, you're from New York. Did you die in 9/11? No. I guess stereotypes don't work out, man. And that was like the first time I was like, damn, I did it. As like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I was like 22, 23 at the time. That was like the best one I had at the time. Oof, years ago.
It's a long time ago.
When I wore a younger man's clothes.
My God. All right. Question 2. Favorite thing about the local comedy scene?
I like the sense of community out here. I was worried that the scene out in New York was going to be so big that you could get lost in the shuffle, but people remember you, like eventually, like if you keep going to mics and you have a good attitude and you're nice and you're funny, you'll eventually find like a group of people you gel with who like being around you, and you can figure it out, like the camaraderie of that. What I really like about the scene though is I got to start out like fresh, like nobody really knew who I was, but I still had 12 years of comedy experience that I gathered from doing shit in San Francisco. So I was able to come and like have a very good first impression right out of the gate. And that was cool. It was almost like having like a superpower where you come in and nobody knows who you are, but then like, whoa, what was all that? Like, how come I've never heard of you? And it was like, well, I've been living in obscurity in San Francisco for the longest time.
All right. Next question is the exact opposite. One thing you dislike and would like to see changed in your local scene.
I think like the one problem is like the level, like one thing that was like cool about San Francisco is like when you got to a certain level, you would go on to other things. You'd either move to LA or New York, and in turn that would leave like the top tiers in San Francisco available for the next group to kind of move up and develop there. With New York, it's like there's nowhere else to go. So when you're competing for showcases, you're also competing against 20, 30-year veterans and people that have Comedy Central and television credits that want the same spot you do. And like they want, and if you're going to have like somebody doing a drop-in spot for your showcase, you're going to have, somebody that does a lot of open mics, or you're going to have somebody that was on like, the late night with Stephen Colbert. You're going to go with the person that was on Colbert. It's a TV credit. Of course you are. But for them, it's like they're set, but it makes it that much harder to break in, but it also forces you to be that much better. So it's a good thing, but it's also like a bad thing, because sometimes in San Francisco, I could easily do 5 to 7 showcases a week without really having to put in work. But here, I'll be lucky if I get 4 to 5 showcases a month, just based on how booked everything is. Not counting the ones I run.
All right. Next question. Favorite local comedian?
Ooh. Have you ever heard of this guy called Dave Attell?
Oh man, I love him.
But in all honesty, Mark Normand is a local out here. I got to do a couple of showcases with him, and he is absolutely incredible. And his special Out to Lunch is pretty good too. I feel bad because it's like he's like clearly like an established showcase comedian, and I feel like maybe I should give a shout out to some undiscovered person. But I think a lot of people left New York like as soon as like the quarantine hit. So I don't even know who's in the scene really. I mainly just do online Zoom stuff and an occasional show here and there.
Believe it or not, some people don't know of Mark Normand, which I find to be weird.
That's crazy.
Insane.
Crazy, man.
Yeah. That's crazy.
He's so
He got me in trouble with my wife.
Why?
Why? Were you at his show?
Did you offer to let him sleep with your wife in exchange for opening for him?
No.
That's a thing. We can do that.
That wouldn't work. But no, he has that joke about like using your parents' sex as a punishment to get your kids good in school.
Yeah,
And then, say, hey, Timmy, you're getting a D in math. I'll show you some D. And I was telling that joke I think I played it for her on a smart speaker, and I didn't think my kid was listening. So like the next week, my kid offered my wife D. So she was unhappy. Wow. He said, hey, Mom, I'll show you some D. And I was like, oh, fuck. And,
You didn't take him up on that?
Uh-oh. That is bad, Dad.
Right, I'm glad she didn't take him up on that. You'd have a whole different issue. Yeah.
All right, Joe, last question. Advice to new comedians.
One of the most the most important thing I think people need to understand about comedy is it's an art, and like all art, it varies from artist to artist. There's no correct way to do it. I think so many comics get discouraged because they see a comedian that they like and they're like, oh, I should do comedy like that because that's what I find funny. But just because you find it funny, that doesn't necessarily mean that represents yourself. And I think comedy needs to be a very personal thing. So I think a lot of comics, when they start, they're like, oh, I'm going to be like, let's just say like somebody that everyone, Andrew Dice Clay, but they're not an Andrew Dice Clay person, but that's the persona. Like when I started, like, I was like, oh, I'm like Patton Oswalt. And I was like, oh, I'm a fucking nerd, and I was like, fuck, kill me. I'm not like a nerd, like that guy killed his wife. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't want to be like Patton Oswalt.
My wife says that shit about him.
Yeah, dude, I said that shit about him on like a comedy fucking Facebook group, and everyone got all fucking mad at me. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, your good dear friend Patton Oswalt, and he didn't I didn't even say like he killed it. What I said was like, all right, all joking aside, do you think Patton Oswalt killed his wife? And everyone was like, fuck you, man, fuck you. And it's like, all right, dude, 7 years ago, if I said like, do you think Bill Cosby raped those women? Everyone would have said, fuck you, man. So just give it a couple more years and Joe Gorman's going to be exonerated. Patton Oswalt killed his wife.
Wow. I told you. I admit it. I knew it.
Exonerated, dude. I'm going to bring up that Facebook post and everything too. Share it and everything.
How long is your hair?
Yeah, that's what I would say. I would say like, be honest with yourself and make sure your comedy represents you. Comedy, like all art, don't let people criticize it, and don't let them you can always listen to people's advice, and like if they give you feedback, you can like listen to it, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to change every single thing about you. But the most important thing is to keep doing it, and eventually you will find out what works for you. It's just, you got to get through that hurdle of like wanting to quit because it's not working out, and understanding that in the long term it will be successful, but you have to just keep doing it.
Nice. All right. So we're bringing back random topics. You've listened to the podcast, so they went away for a while, right, Joe?
Of course, yeah. The darkest day of my life.
All right. So I came across something on Twitter, and I just wanted to talk about it with you guys, get your opinions on it. So first of all, there is a strip club called Jumbo's Clown Room.
Nice.
Nope.
It exists. Now,
Keep going.
No.
It is so famous because Courtney Love used to strip there.
As a clown in a clown suit?
No. It's a strip club. This is the caliber of women that strip at Jumbo's Clown Room.
Okay. Courtney Love's not that hot.
No, she's not. Really. That's what I'm trying to say. It's the caliber. It's gross.
I mean, if you like methed out girls, I mean, hey.
Which I do.
There's one for you.
Yeah.
That's where the suicide girls come from. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Thanks to the degenerate on Twitter @SadHominin. He's the one that told me about that, and I Googled it, and it's true. But there also is a stripper, and this is just hilarious. She's Asian, and her stage name is Coco Ono.
Oh no,
That's not that bad.
Oh, I fucking love it. Anyways, they are taking the power back, they say, by doing whose phone is doing
It's not mine. It's supposed to be
Sorry.
CharRon since he's on his
Oh,
phone.
CharRon.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Sorry.
So you can watch these girls strip, and they're not great. No offense, Jumbo. You can pay $20 to watch them strip on Zoom Wednesdays and Saturdays.
What?
Oh, they got a Zoom room for this.
Yes.
No.
Now,
What the fuck's the point in that?
Keep going. Keep going.
oh, that's it. That they're taking the power back by becoming strippers on Zoom.
What's the point of an OnlyFans without nudity?
That's what I was going to say.
Okay, on that note, I'm at a mic, so I'm going to go do a real live mic right now, and I'll let you boys talk about strippers and hookers and whatever else. Orgasms during birth.
Way to take the
You
podcast
gonna
seriously.
leave us?
Acting like it's a Sunday podcast. Get the fuck
know,
out of
right?
here.
Bye, boys. Thank you, Joe. I'll see you later.
bye.
Fun.
Daddy
Hell
D.
yeah, dude! Just the fellas now.
Let's whip it out, guys. Let's measure
Hell
it.
yeah, dude. Start
So,
grilling some steaks.
so I do want to ask you something, Joe. You were talking about Smurfs and how it was like a suggested topic. Is that for your Zoom shows? Like people can suggest topics?
No. It was this other mic I was doing. It's called Russian Roulette, where everyone gets there's basically a wheel of topics, and you, for your set you spin the wheel, and whatever topic it lands on, you got to riff about that for a fixed amount of time, which is determined by another wheel.
So did you get Smurfs?
Yes, I did. I did get Smurfs. So I just kind of talked about the Smurf hierarchy and also what they might taste like that would encourage Gargamel to want to eat them.
Wow, you know a lot about the Smurfs. I didn't
Not
know.
really. I never really liked the Smurfs a whole lot. I didn't like that they were all about positivity and socialism.
Well, every one of the Smurfs had a job except for Smurfette, and I'm sure if you had a village full of dudes,
Yeah. Well, what was
He would have one
Vanity's
job.
What was Vanity's job? He was just looking at himself.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Narcissist, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe there was a hooker Smurf that we never saw.
better than
Right a chance.
better than clumsy Smurf. I mean,
Yeah. What a doofus.
just fall over everything.
Like, out of curiosity, guys, are these people I should know?
No.
No.
These are Smurfs.
Okay. I've seen like a parody porn with the Smurfs.
Is it that Russian one?
Oh, I
It's
don't
that
know.
Russian one where they're just going la la, and the girls sucking off blue stuff off their penises.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yes, I've seen it. Sorry, my bad.
But yeah, that randomly came into my mind. But would you guys pay
Yeah.
$20 to watch a chick strip when you can just go to Pornhub?
No.
No.
Well, that's the problem.
I mean, what's funny is I was reading, I didn't know this was an actual like gaining steam. They're talking about shutting Pornhub down.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they had huge protests in Canada.
What? Why?
Because I guess first of all, Pornhub is a Canadian business. Like all their servers are in Canada.
Nice.
But I guess people are just, I didn't know this, but apparently they're uber Christian like us, and they think it's just rotting our brains. So they're trying to get it all taken down.
Okay.
Interesting.
Stupid. That's never going to happen, dude.
Trump will do a TikTok against Pornhub.
No way. Trump will never go
An
against
American company has to own Pornhub.
Well, we got,
Makes sense.
something. I mean, we have X hamster, as
Yeah.
he said,
Mhm.
X video, RedTube.
Yeah, there's plenty of good ones.
Yeah, I don't know if Pornhub goes down. That'll be 2020 encapsulated for me.
Really?
Yeah.
That'll be the end of it.
Well, I mean, I can't use my imagination anymore. I've watched too much porn.
Yeah.
I need to have my phone right here. I need to be in my be on the toilet like I'm taking a shit and just drop my baby batter right in the toilet and call it a day.
Do you have a lid up or you have a lid down?
Down. I'm not an animal sitting in my own splashback.
Oh, damn it. Sorry. I'm sorry.
All right.
Someone wants to say hi to me.
Well, Joe, we will let you go since it is 10 o'clock over there.
Hey, man, I had a blast. Thank you so much for having me on, man.
Thank you for coming on. This was a great episode, and you take it easy and stay safe, sir.
Hey, thanks. You too, man. Anytime. I'm down to do it anytime, man.
All right, later.
All right, thanks a lot. Nice to meet y'all.
Yeah.
Take care.